You open up your email one day and notice that you have a request from a student in Australia, or if you're in Australia, from the United States. And you start thinking, is it possible for me to work with this time zone? What time would it be over there? You finally get that piece worked out. And then 2 times a year, the times change because some parts of the world honor daylight saving time, but not all places actually recognize daylight saving. So mistake number 17 is not educating yourself about these time zones. It can be tricky. So in this video, I'm going to share which areas recognize daylight saving, which ones do not, and things to take into consideration when working with other time zones. By the way, is it daylight savings or daylight saving? Stay tuned. It is actually pronounced correctly as daylight saving and not daylight savings. Hi, my name is Joanne Kaminski, and I've experienced the time zone nightmare from many different perspectives. Now, in the beginning, I used to think that I could remember every student's time zone. Well, that is just not the case. I mean, in the beginning, it's easy because you just have a few students, right? But once you get 10 or more students from around the world, you begin to forget. I mean, the ones that are far away from you, you tend to be easy to remember, but those students in my country, but different times, still mess me up. So now, when I schedule a new student, I always write what their time zone is on my calendar. And since I see my students at the same time and day of the week, I can put their name down on my calendar as Jasmine Tutoring EST. This way, if I ever forget, I have a quick place that I can go to check. Now, I had to learn the hard way that not all states in the United States participate in daylight saving. The United States officially adopted daylight saving time, yes, not savings, as part of the Uniform Time Act of 1966. Now, before that, states could come up with their own versions of the practice. In fact, Iowa once had 23 different pairs of start and end dates throughout the state. So this new law brought much needed order to the country's clocks, but it didn't require all states to comply. And so 2 states eventually opted out, Hawaii and Arizona. And Hawaii abandoned the law in 1967 because, well, it just didn't make sense. And one of the benefits of daylight saving time is that there's more daylight in the evening. But in Hawaii, the sun rises and sets at about the same time every day. And this is according to time reports. Now, Arizona ended up getting rid of it and followed suit in 1968 because it also gets a lot of daylight year-round. Not setting clocks forward also ensures that there are lower temperatures during waking and bedtime hours. However, the Navajo Nation in northeastern Arizona does observe daylight saving time, so it can have a uniform time with the parts of the territory in Utah and New Mexico. Now, a few U.S. territories also refrain from observing daylight saving time: the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico and Northern Mariana Islands, the U.S. Virgin Islands, America Samoa, and Guam. And the rest of the world is just as confusing as the United States. Some places recognize and some do not. And do any of you remember when we changed daylight savings time in the U.S. in 2007 with the Energy Policy Act? So now we change our times at 2:00 a.m. on the second Sunday of March, and it ends at 2:00 a.m. on the first Sunday of November. Now, have you ever heard the term spring forward, fall back? This was created to help us remember what we do with our clocks and when. So spring forward means we move our clock forward in spring 1 hour, and fall back means we move our clocks back 1 hour in the fall. Now, most of Europe and the EU changes clocks at 1:00 a.m. on the last Sunday of March, and it ends at 1:00 a.m. GMT on the last Sunday of October. Today, approximately 70 countries utilize daylight saving time in at least a portion of the country. Japan, India, and China are the only major industrialized countries that do not observe some form of daylight saving. So let's take a look at a daylight savings time map. And this shows you, the yellow area shows you the areas that do observe it, and the white area are the areas that do not. So you can see that there is quite a bit of the world that does not actually observe it. And this can be really helpful visualization for you to see where it is pivotal. Now, what is the difference between DT and ST? Oftentimes, you're going to see CDT and CST. Why is there a difference? Well, this helps us know when we're on standard time and daylight. So currently no one is on CDT time, and this is across the country. And this is because we are back to standard time. So I often have people confused on why I write CDT or CST in my emails when I'm telling them times of our calls. And they think, oh, why doesn't you just say central? And the reason is because of the confusion across the world. The D lets people know that we are 5 hours behind the coordinated universal time. The S lets people know that I am 6 hours behind the coordinated universal time. And if you ever see UT -5 or UT -6, that's another way of letting people know what your time zone is. Now, many of us have digital devices today that automatically take into consideration what the clock does, and we don't even have to change it. My iPhone, iWatch, they automatically do this. But it is important to remember as an online tutor that not everyone is in the same time zone as you, and not everywhere participates in daylight saving time. So if you have found this information useful, please like, subscribe, and hit that bell so that you can get notified when other great videos about online tutoring are released. Now, to see some other videos about mistakes that online tutors make, watch the other 16 videos before it. I've created a playlist for you, and you can watch them all. And stay tuned for next week, where I'm going to share mistake number 18. Many tutors think that they will just create a Facebook ad and generate all of the students that they need. However, there is a much better way to get students in the next couple of weeks. So I'm going to be showing that to you. So hit subscribe and like that little bell so that you don't miss out. And as always, thanks for watching. My name's Joanne Kaminski, the online tutor business coach, helping you get found, hired, and referred. Here's till next time. Bye, everyone.